We've been cooking today from soup to nuts, and we're actually up to soup. Soup is a great way to start a meal, or it can be an entire meal in itself. I like it as a snack, I like it as a starter. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to make a soup. For soups, you can use a stock, like a lot of traditional people made stock out of bones, whether it's fish bones or meat bones or chicken bones. And what that does is it makes your soup much heartier and richer and full of minerals like calcium and phosphorus. I mean, it really loads it up. But we're just going to start this soup with water, the most basic, simple, easy way to have a soup. This is a magical miso soup. And I say magical because it's delicious and it has some really good medicinal properties. So I'm going to take our water and bring it up to a boil, and I'm going to add in something called wakame. And wakame is a seaweed. And seaweed is mineral rich in iron, rich in calcium. It's a highly mineralized food. This is what it looks like when it's dry, and this is how you buy it in the store. And a lot of the recipes say like 2 to 3 inches of it, because if you were to use this, it would turn gigantic. Like this piece here was this much. We used this much wakame, and it turned into this much wakame, right? So I'm going to chop this up and put it into our water. It only takes about 5 minutes to reconstitute that sea vegetable. And I'll drop it into our soup. We're also going to put in a little bit of tofu and some shitake mushrooms. And there's something about shitake mushrooms, besides being highly beneficial to your health. I mean, they're showing that shitake mushrooms specifically help to boost the immune system. But that also includes maitake mushrooms in there too. But there's something about shiitakes that's different than other mushrooms. You see this bottom part? Shiitake mushrooms actually grow on trees. So what you want to do is you have to take that stem off because it's very woody. It takes, look at this, it takes on the energy of that where it was grown. And it's really hard, like you'd have to cook it for about 10 hours to get it to soften up. It's like cooking a tree. So I'm going to take our shiitake mushrooms and put that into the soup. And we're also using some tofu. And this is our extra firm tofu, because if I use this silken in my soup, it would just smear all over the place. Wouldn't look too good. So I'm going to drop in our tofu. And we're going to let this come up to a boil. And while that's cooking, I'm going to take our miso. Actually, I'll take our watercress. We're putting watercress in our soup too, and I want you to check this out. We were talking about leafy greens before, how we don't have enough leafy greens in the diet. Watercress is definitely considered a leafy green. It's just a smaller leafy green, so it has all the benefits of the larger leafy greens. Chlorophyll, calcium, iron, fiber. And we're just going to drop this in the way that it is, actually. Whole pieces of watercress. But that's going to go in when we put our miso, because we don't want to completely destroy it. And we also don't want to destroy our miso. I'll show you how we do that. Miso is not supposed to be boiled. So when that comes up to a boil, I'm going to take 1.5 teaspoons of miso per cup of water. And you can make it stronger or less strong by using more or less miso. This is salt. Miso is fermented soybean, and it has a lot of salt in it, so you don't need to use too much. But I'm going to put some warm water in there to break it up, because you can't put your miso in your soup like this lump, because if you do, you'll be chasing it around for a half an hour trying to break it up, and you don't want to chase around your miso. So I'm just diluting this in a little bit of water to thin it out. I'm going to lower it to simmer. And add our miso. And this is going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. And like I said, it's not up to a boil. It's a very, very low flame right now. And I'm just going to let that sit. I'm going to put in a little bit of our watercress. And there you have it, miso soup. So this is gonna cook for about 2 minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Okay, so I said this was magical miso soup, right? Well, the magic of it is it only takes 5 minutes. And you can get in and out of the kitchen in no time. This is so yummy, so delicious. You're gonna be happy you made this for you. Make it for somebody you love. Make it for yourself, make it for your family members. And here you have it. The magical miso. Enjoy.